How to beat Blackburn Rovers is the topic we're asking our Pompey fans this week, 2 weeks after their win against Preston, and now football is properly back. We're also talking about whether Pompey are over or underperforming against XG. We're going to get these guys to review the summer transfer window as before we move into the January window, and which Championship managers do we rate as the manager merry-go-round continues. We've got Sam, Sasha and Jake back with us. It's good to have proper football back this week. Sam, let's start with you in the corner there. How on earth do you beat Blackburn?
I think if we just carry on the way we've been, to be honest, over the last couple of games, I know we haven't got like 3 wins out of it, but the second half against Hull and the games against Plymouth and Preston, I think we've looked really strong. So I think we'll go from there. I know Blackburn are a good side, obviously. I think they started really well. But yeah, you've got to hope.
Jake, here's the team that started against Preston 2 weeks ago. Tough one, this question to ask, because of course we're not sure about injuries and returning players. But what changes would you make to this starting 11 to beat Blackburn?
I'm a strong believer in never change a winning team, so I wouldn't change a thing. I think they've lost their last 2 games at home, I think, Blackburn. So I can't see that we would fear them for any reason. But yeah, I wouldn't change the team.
Okay, Sasha.
I wouldn't change anything unless Colby Bishop's 100% match fit. I'd probably start him for Yengi. Other than that, happy with all the other players.
Okay, and Sam, you continue with Pack there in the centre back.
If Shaughnessy's fit, I would switch him and Pack out, and then I'd put Pack in for Dozo probably. But yeah, and to agree with Sasha there, I'd start Colby if he's fit as well. But I don't know. I can't see that happening.
Okay, Jake, what's been the difference then in the last 3 games in terms of setup or man management or tactics, where we've seen this Pompey side being a little bit more creative and certainly going forward, creating more?
I don't think we haven't changed the shape or anything like that. I know we've changed personnel, so Matt Ritchie's come in and he's provided, a bit more experience for the team. We are still quite a young side, and I think he sort of managed it on the pitch, and players have just been performing a little bit better. We haven't, as Sam said, we played well against Hull and Plymouth. We just didn't finish the chances off, and against Preston it all clicked. But we have definitely been creating more chances. I think we created 18 chances against Preston. So yeah, something's definitely improved.
Okay, Sasha, can you put your finger on it?
No, I just feel like every single player's put in that extra 5%, and the fans have put in that extra 5%, and it's all just kind of gone into one, and we've all improved as a collective.
Okay. We're also asking whether you've outperformed in terms of the data. Let's have a look at some Opta stats for a second. This is from Opta Analyst, which compares expected points from game outcome simulations based on the individual shots or the XG that you've faced in games. So essentially, what we've got here is in red the actual points that you've gained versus the points that you expected to get. Obviously, there's a drop off here, but are you surprised, Sam Norris, about how low Portsmouth are, even in terms of the expected points here? This is the expected points gained from your expected XG, of course.
Probably not, to be fair, because I know even though we have seen a turn recently and we've got a lot better. I think we did go for a period after that QPR game against Cardiff and Sheffield Wednesday. I don't think we deserved to win them. Obviously, the Stoke game. So I think it's probably a fair reflection.
But you're not bottom. still not bottom. What about you, Sam? I mean, first of all, do you care for data like this? Do you read much into it? Because of course, look at the top there. Millwall are 3rd in the league based on their expected XG.
It's funny enough, I was having a conversation with my dad about this last night after the game, and we've already agreed. We've always agreed on that 50 points is the expectation in the goal in the championship, and until then, it's however many games you've played is however many game points you should have. So right now, I think we're sitting at that. I think we're on 13 points, maybe. Don't quote me on that, but we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. I would maybe like to be out of the relegation zone, but like you said, we're not bottom. So again, that's all right.
Okay. All right then. We're going to be into December soon, Jake, and of course the conversation is going to naturally start on this channel talking to you guys about the January transfer window. Before we get to that conversation, though, we've got to parcel up the summer one first, because when I asked you all, I think back in September, you said, we haven't seen many games yet and we've not seen them all play. So last chance now. Out of 10, now that you've had a good 15 games to see the players you've signed and looked at the quality of them, what number are we giving the recruitment done in this summer? Jake, start this off for us.
If you'd asked me a month ago, I'd have said 4. But I think the last 3 games have won me round a little bit. Still not completely convinced on a few, but I'll say 6.5 out of 10 for the recruitment. I don't think it's been great. You look at other teams who came up with us, and I think they've probably recruited better. So, yeah, 6.5 for me.
Sam Morris?
I'll probably go just under. I'll go 5.5. I think some of the signings we have brought in, you would probably take in League One. But then again, we have brought in some good players. So, yeah, 5.5.
Sasha?
I'd give it a 5. I think in a few years' time, some of the players we brought in could become really good. But for us staying up in the Championship this season, I'm still not 100% convinced yet. But we have signed some really good players that could carry us over. Players like Matt Ritchie and them sort of players.
Sam?
I'm going to go with Jake's initial 4 here. I don't think the recruitment has been strong. I think Richard Hughes is bought for the future and not for now. And yes, the win against Preston was nice. However, I think maybe it's paved over some of the cracks a little bit. And I don't think the owners have really shown interest maybe in buying players for the Championship. Yes, they've spent money on the stadium. And from what I've seen, Fratton Park looks 10 times better than what it was. However, the investment on the pitch, I don't think has been there.
Yeah, it's interesting you all put that down, because whenever we've talked about Mousinho criticisms online, whenever there's been someone criticising him, there's always been someone jumping in saying, you can't blame him, you've got to blame the recruitment. The reason that Pompey are in the position they are isn't because you've got a bad manager, it's because you just don't have the players to compete at this level. Genuinely, Jake, do you believe, given that you've now nearly seen all the teams in this league, and there are some pretty poor ones, do you think you have a chance to survive, even knowing what we know now about the lack of recruitment and the quality of it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, January will be big for us. We do still need to we need to strengthen. But I believe within the squad we have got enough quality to just about scrape 21st.
Sasha?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like we're a bit of a special club. I think the bond the team have together and they have with the fans, I think that will genuinely carry us over, and I do honestly think we'll stay up.
Okay. All right. Finally, then, this week, it's Manager Merry-Go-Round, obviously in the Championship and across the EFL, because, of course, it's international break where managers seem to get their marching orders more than any other. This is a completely hypothetical question, but if Mousinho were to go, and there's no suggestion that he would be, Sam, which manager in the Championship would you try and court?
I'd go Carlos Corberan for me, the West Brom one. I think he's well known as one of the best managers in the league. So yeah, I'll probably go him.
Okay. Sam?
I like Scott Parker. I think he plays some decent football there at Burnley and stuff. And I think, yeah, genuine English manager and upcoming. So yeah, I like Scott Parker.
Okay. I'm not sure the Burnley fans would agree with you there at the moment. Certainly not the ones we speak to on this network. Sasha?
I would probably say Chris Wilder. I think he's a really good manager. He's really good with working with youngsters, and we've got a lot of them. So yeah, I'd pick him.
Okay, Jake.
Either Michael Carrick or John Eustace, actually, from Blackburn. I think he was unlucky to get sacked from Birmingham when he did, and he's gone into Blackburn and done a decent job. I wouldn't mind having him.
Of course, the next club that might be looking for a manager will be when Russell Martin leaves. Of course, perhaps in a couple of weeks' time. I'm sure you will all hope. Oh no, you probably don't hope, do you? I'm sure you want to keep him.
Yeah, keep him on.
Yeah.
He's doing
a fantastic job, Mark. Fantastic job.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said anything. All right. Thank you very much. Right. Enjoy your trip to Blackburn then, you lot. We'll catch you next week when, of course, we're talking crazily about the November Player of the Month. How's that come around so quickly? And looking ahead to the Christmas fixtures, which are, there's so many of them of this next break. And we'll talk about where Pompey will be going on their travels, of course, next. Enjoy your trip to Blackburn. Thank you very much for joining us. Do drop us a subscribe if you haven't done so already. See you next week.